Hi, this is Theo Ellsworth. I am, oh, maybe I'm not talking yet. I'll hold off for 2 seconds. Hey, this is Theo Ellsworth. I am doing my first ever live stream coming through the space-time screen portals all over the place right now. I'm in rainy Missoula, Montana, in the Brunswick building where my studio is at. I'm here to celebrate the release of my new book, Secret Life, which is an adaptation of a short story by Jeff Vandermeer. I'm really excited to have it out in the world and incredibly excited to be working with one of my very favorite publishers in the world. It's release day. It feels crazy. Just trying to relax and enjoy it and celebrate the fact that I accomplished this thing, and the fact that I didn't draw half of the book and suddenly shoot myself in the foot with a harpoon gun or anything and suddenly stop answering emails. I actually did it. I completed a book and I feel really good, and just want to celebrate. I'm going to do a live drawing today. I'm going to put my camera up here and I'm going to answer questions later or in the comments at some point. But right now I'm going to flip upside down. See if it's lined up here. Thanks for being here, everyone. As a way of celebrating, I'm going to draw a picture of a celebration beast. Let's draw, you and me, buddy. This is my drawing show. Well, when you draw a celebration beast, you gotta kind of wait. Let me plug in my phone just in case anything goes wrong. Nice. So when you're drawing a celebration beast, I think it's good to go like fangs first. Just get those fangs on there. I'm realizing that when I'm alone in my studio, I rarely ever speak out loud. So I'll try not to just go off into my own world while I draw this. And just because he has fangs doesn't mean that he wants to eat you or anything. Like when you think about it, if you're a werewolf, you're only a werewolf for one night every month. So why give in to the hunger? Just enjoy being a werewolf. Don't eat people. Just go run around in the woods all night or meet up in an abandoned building with other werewolves and just have a party. So here's a monster mouth. I don't often just doodle like in straight pen anymore because I'm usually trying to work out kind of pre-planned thoughts, but there's just a nice little monster mouth. Just maybe go in full nostril. You can draw your own monster along with me at home if you feel like it. Or you can just create your own monster in your mind while I draw. Despite the look of it, this monster is super happy.
Theo, you're drawing sideways.
Drawing sideways?
Yeah.
What? It doesn't look sideways on my thingy. How do I fix that? That's sideways? Hmm. Sorry for the awkwardness, folks. Here I am looking down at me. Is that really sideways? Is that better?
That's upside down.
Oh, wow. Technology. Is that better?
That's perfect.
Okay. Let me switch through my whole deal here then. Okay. How's that?
See, zoomed out. That's perfect.
Okay. Phew. Thanks. Thanks for the intervention. This voice of God there. Okay. Is that better? Everyone can see the eyeballs. Okay. Well, now for the other monster eyeball. I'm just gonna pretend this is kind of like one of my this is one of my personal demons that didn't think I'd ever finish that book. But as he watched me over my shoulder over the months of working on it, he totally came around and stopped being my enemy. And now he's excited for me. So I'm just gonna go in some, it's nice to make monsters kind of look windblown a little bit. Because he is in total party celebration mode. And let's see, I should give him some kind of party hat. I don't know what kind of party hat he should have. Probably like a living party hat, honking a horn. Like just totally winging it here. When I was in high school and got really, really into doodling, the only way I would ever draw is straight Sharpie to paper. And it was kind of this thinking tool that would help me kind of work out all my neuroses and be a calmer person. All right, that's a celebration honk, not an annoying honk.
Can you move slightly to the left? Center the image a bit more. No, other way, sorry. Other left. Yeah.
How's that?
A little more.
Yeah.
That should be good.
Okay. Wow, I thought I had it so lined up that it somehow kind of switched on me. I'm realizing how difficult it is to actually talk while I draw. This room in general, I'm realizing I almost never speak out loud while I'm in here. There's always some point while I'm drawing where it feels like basically the drawing's totally gone awry, but I have to just keep going and see what happens. And this is one of those moments. Thanks for being here with me. All right, here's the celebration hat. Maybe I'll just try to draw his whole body and then go in and add some other details. Here's his wiggly arm. monster hand. Maybe I'll give him like some little finger puppets. 'Cause nothing says celebration like finger puppets. Whoa. The moment this is feeling like maybe the worst thing that I've ever drawn, but that's okay. You just gotta go for it. A lot of times I like to get kind of the main shape of a drawing down, and then you can go in and just kind of relax and zone out on all the fun details. Give them some animal slippers. All right, now let's see. Most drawings kind of look, seem terrible until I go in and just revisit everything and add details and kind of find my way around the drawing. Celebration hat. Definitely needs some fur. I don't know if it's relaxing to watch someone draw, but I definitely enjoy doing it. It's a very strange feeling to know that there's other people out there, and I appreciate you being here. I don't know if this monster looks super happy like he's celebrating, but he is. This is the best he's felt in years. All right, let's see. I think he needs like cloud sleeves. Just drawing happy clouds on a sleeve. on a rainy day. Feels pretty good. You know, just relaxing and drawing monsters has a lot of therapeutic qualities. I also like drawing on junk mail and turning all the faces in junk mail into monsters. It's kind of an ongoing cathartic thing for me. Just letting your hand draw, pretending your hand is a living creature and it's kind of doing its own thing, and you're just kind of there watching it. Sometimes you gotta just let your hand go into alien hand syndrome and maybe surprise you. Well, let's see. Now I need something on his shirt. Probably some crazy eyeballs. All right. Like the fastest I've drawn in years. Sometimes when I like to do a lot of collaborative art with my kids, and pass drawings back and forth. That's kind of the one time I'll draw like really fast with them so that we can just keep the drawing moving. That's always super entertaining and surprising. I'm one of those people that finds drawing textures and patterns super relaxing, and kind of helps me think. I feel like when I'm just zoning out on drawing, and like I could endlessly just draw wood grain on floors or grass patterns, stuff like that. Things that look really tedious to a lot of people are some of my favorite things to do, because it kind of lets me think in another way. I just kind of step back and let my hands do the patterns, and then I'll kind of go off in weird places in my head and think about ideas or problem solve. All right, he's getting all wrinkly and patterned. It's another thing I like to do is draw one pattern and then draw another pattern behind it. The whole book of Secret Life is full of lots of cross-hatching and patterns in the background, and the checkered floors and everything. I got really into creating all that because it just endlessly like cross-hatching the walls kind of gave it a claustrophobic feel and kind of brings you into that space. And I don't know, I'm one of those neurotic people that can't seem to stop drawing until every space, every little square inch is considered somehow, or else it just doesn't feel done. Like I have to sit with it and kind of touch every part of it with a pen. And that's kind of kind of feels like almost like an extension of the sense of touch. Like I keep a sketchbook where I draw things from my library as kind of a study, studying other people's art, and actually drawing it takes me so much deeper into it than just looking at my books. I love just sitting and drawing things that I'm looking at. And I equally love just drawing stuff straight out of my imagination. And I feel like those two things kind of fuel each other. And I guess I'm just obsessed with drawing. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I can't stop. Even when a drawing is totally going awry, like this one. Okay, I'm gonna give this guy, he's gotta have a ghost hand. All right, I gotta fix this finger puppet up here. He's laughing because it's a living finger puppet. Maybe the wonkiest hand that I've drawn in months. All right, let's see what we can do with these pants now. Sometimes I like to just go through and thicken all the lines so it's not just a single line. Give it some variance and some waviness. All right, now you need some kind of pattern on. He's gonna have eyeball pants. I really could draw floating eyeballs all day. That one is way smaller than the others. So many eyeballs. All right, other leg. All right, now I'm gonna go behind all the eyes and add some kind of extra dimension to it. I gotta go the other way. I don't know why, I just do. Give these eyeballs a nice place to live, some kind of crosshatched checker world where eyeballs can safely just exist outside of someone's face. All right, now I need to make his monster slippers furry so they're actually comfortable. Well, now what? Now I just give him some ghost friends that are partying with him. You gotta give him a floor. And like I said, I have a real fondness for drawing wood floors for some reason. Wood floor texture is one of the most relaxing things to draw. Add some happy little knots into the wood flooring. Give this celebration beast a place to be his weird self. But now I got to go through and make it so you can see the individual floorboards better. Well, maybe that's all. That's like the messiest thing I've drawn in a long time. Give him some horns. There you have it, a very hastily drawn celebration beast. Thanks for hanging out and drawing with me. For any questions too. It was fun and strange drawing a picture. I'm here to celebrate, and thanks for celebrating with me. I'm super thrilled to have this book coming out, and this celebration beast is here to celebrate with me too, hanging out alone here in my studio. Happy I get to have this unseen company of people in the space-time screen world. Not sure what else to say about the book right now. This is a room where I rarely speak out loud, so I'm suddenly feeling very self-conscious about this fact. But incredibly thrilled and thankful for all of you. I don't know, I don't know how to read the comments. Oh, make a great Halloween costume. Well, thank you. I probably will be some kind of monster for Halloween. Usually am. Let me see if I can see some questions. Someone says that reminds them of a Furby. Thank you, I think. If it starts talking to me later, we'll definitely know. Oh, someone asked, how much time do I spend drawing a day? Honestly, as much time as possible. This year, I'm finally getting more drawing time now because I'm no longer homeschooling my kids. But I love having this studio space that's kind of my concentration space that I can come and just entirely focus on drawing. I really need that. Yeah, right now, I mean, I have this weird tendency to just be able to draw for as long as I can until I have to stop. So, I mean, I love to just sit and draw for 8 hours straight. I try to always ride my bike to my studio to keep me somewhat in shape so I don't turn into a hunchback, because I definitely feel like I'm gearing that way sometimes. But yeah, I mean, no matter what, I draw every day. If I haven't gotten to draw, I usually have to draw before I go to sleep. Let me see what else there is. Oh, what's my favorite Jeff Vandermeer novel? Probably Born. I mean, I love everything I've read of his, but Born is the one where I first got connected with him right before Born came out. And Jeff sent me, I got to be an early reader of that novel. And I also ended up drawing this big woodcut piece that he took on tour with him. So that book especially has a lot of personal significance to me. And it's also one of his most bonkers books as far as like the bioengineering and just that whole future world he envisioned feels really, really vivid to me. So that's definitely my favorite. Let's see, where do I find the questions again? Oops, I'm pressing weird buttons now. I'm one of those people that could very easily like accidentally erase all of Instagram if I press the wrong thing. So I'll wait till another question shows up. But yeah, drawing just oh, here's another question. I'll look at it. Oh, how did the project start with Jeff Vandermeer? It was kind of I don't know how to talk about it without seeing like too self-satisfied or something, but it was really cool, especially because during that time I wasn't really able to work on comics much. I make a living doing illustration work and gallery stuff, which I'm forever thankful for. But comics are kind of the thing I'm most passionate about. But the longer projects I was trying to do, as soon as I start working on them, I my finances would start declining. So it started feeling sort of like this selfish thing where I didn't know how to get these projects off the ground without totally like hindering my family's finances. But right around that time, Jeff Vandermeer found my work at Drawn and Quarterly's bookstore, kind of fortuitously. And he was recommending my book online. So I ended up writing him and thanking him. And that turned into us doing a kind of an exchange through the mail and him sending me an early copy of Born, and doing a few commissions for him. So he just felt like this really supportive, amazing presence suddenly. And then the idea of doing this book kind of came up, or doing a book together in some way. And he ended up sending me the short story of Secret Life. And immediately when I read it, I just started seeing in my head the kind of the patterns and textures of the book and how I would divide it up into pages and organize it. So it just felt like this amazing opportunity to get to dive back into comics again with a kind of a feeling of support or people rooting for me, which was kind of huge. I just went for it. And then magically, Drawn and Quarterly said they would publish it. So it really feels like a dream come true. And the process of making the book was incredibly cathartic and really satisfying. So I feel like doing an adaptation in this way is something I've never done before. And I feel like it brought out this whole other part of my art that I didn't even know I had in me. Most of my art is really inward facing. Like most of my comics feel like they take place in my subconscious, and I'm like wrestling with all these things while I do it. Or there's all these kind of like neuroses show up, and I have to figure out how to integrate them into the story. And the bigger book I was working on felt like really like this living wild thing I was trying to bring into shape, and it kept branching off in every direction and kept hitting walls with it, and then realizing I needed to set it down to actually finish illustration deadlines. So it just felt like I didn't know how to make this bigger project become cohesive. And then something about getting this sort of puzzle box from the outside world from Jeff Vandermeer, it suddenly snapped this other kind of thing in focus. And I felt like I knew how to unpack this story and kind of dive into it and find all the connections inside of that. And it helped me really dive into the craft of comics and just fully submerge in that. Through that process, I feel like it helped me become a more organized person. I usually feel like there's drawings and projects flying off of me in every direction. And something about this where it's like, okay, like I can't mess this up. And there's people kind of, rooting for me on this. It made me get super organized and clear on it. And for the first time ever, I was able to just work on a book project and nothing else for a little while, which was totally magical. And the process helped me think about my other project that I'd been hitting walls with for years. It helped me think about that clearer. And I've been back at it, working on that. And I've drawn over 200 pages of it now. So I'm really excited about that. But it also kind of opened me up to continuing to work with authors too. So I'm doing another book with an author named Dara Horn, who's really awesome. And this is, as opposed to having a short story and doing an adaptation of it or like unpacking it, this is actually more back and forth where she's, writing a chapter and sending it to me, and I'm showing her the pencils, and it's a lot of fun. And I love ending up drawing things that are totally outside of the scope of what I would usually sit down and draw. So yeah, I love it. Oh, someone asked, do any films inspire my work? No, like specific films necessarily, but I love watching films with an eye on comics. Like I love watching the cinematography of films and sort of like looking at how they frame things and how, I don't know, I love kind of, artful directors that'll really like frame a sequence and like kind of steep you in an atmosphere. I also love kind of like half watching movies sometimes in the evening. Like if my partner's watching a movie, I like to sit and draw on the couch and then only take in certain scenes. I love watching films out of order as sort of this abstract kind of thing sometimes, which maybe filmmakers would hate. But I thought about different films while I was making this book. Like I thought about like Wes Anderson, the way he will put so much detail into a background and almost like these model worlds. And I wanted to have all the scenes feel like as felt as that. And I thought about like Stanley Kubrick, like The Shining, like that, all the patterns and textures of the floors in that movie and stuff like that. Just the way I framed all the sequences in the book, I tried to really put an emphasis on pacing and make it as cinematic as possible kind of feeling. So yeah, I love film and I love art. Like outsider art is hugely inspiring to me, and folk art. I love stuff made by people that are like just doing it for themselves as kind of a just this impulse. I love work that has that creative impulse behind it. And I love old and new comics. My basement library is a huge inspiration for me. Like I said, I have a sketchbook that I keep that's entirely just me looking through books and drawing things that I love in the books, just to kind of like try to get outside of my own style or my own way of doing things. That's always really satisfying. Oh yeah, I can show you my studio a little bit. I don't know how to do it without being awkward, but here's a stack of Secret Life came in the mail. Very exciting. For the longest time, I only had one copy. Now it's pretty amazing to have a tower of them in here. This is kind of this corner of this is kind of the corner to remind me that other people have like printed my work, or I've been part of things. There's a lot of posters for shows and books that I've been part of. This is my collection of books I've had published or contributed to. This is like my mess of things in progress and stuff I'm trying to keep track of. And I've got this wall of, there's a lot of like friend art or art by my kids, or different things to remind me of amazing museums or places I've been. This, of course, is my drawing table, which I love the accumulation of ink over the years. I'm probably going to have to change it soon because it's almost like wearing out, like wearing through from use. Over here is this is my light table zone, very essential for cartooning. Like here's a collaborative drawing I did with my kids. I try to add as little as possible to those. I'll just add like a few lines and pass it back because it's more about just kind of the exchange of keeping them drawing and stuff. More of my art. It's just nice to have a space that I can have that just feels completely comfortable and has all these things of personal significance everywhere. So I can just come here and close the door and just immediately concentrate. I'm usually completely quiet when I'm in here. Here's my studio window. It's kind of a rainy fall day out there. I love being up high. This is a really old, it used to be a railroad hotel. It feels kind of haunted and all the floors are kind of crooked. And down below is actually a brick street. Over in this corner, I've got some big pieces of mine that I've kind of held on to. I don't know how well you can see that. There's a broom, a mutating broom from a past book. Yeah, I don't have much of my own art hanging anymore, but this is okay, yeah. That's like a piece of art that's actually a comic page that I mounted on wood. Yeah, it's a small little space, but I love it in here. See how much time we have left. Well, almost been here an hour. That's amazing. Well, unless there's any more questions, really enjoyed having you in here. Thanks for floating around in here like a ghost and keeping me company, astral projecting to where I am. Really grateful and really thrilled and amazed and surprised to have all this happening and having this book that I put so much care and thought into actually getting out in the world. Just trying to enjoy it and not get all neurotic and worried about it, and just have a moment to actually enjoy accomplishing that. And thanks. I hope you'll check it out. Very nice to have you. Incredibly thankful. Probably supposed to press some kind of thing. Share content.